Welcome to the Energy and Hours podcast, formerly called the Grow Like a Mother podcast. I'm your host, Jill Wright, author of Happy, Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise, and creator of the Time Magic Seasonal Planner. On this podcast, we talk about time and energy management tips that we can use to flow through our day in a way that feels more aligned. This podcast is for people who are living less traditional, non-linear kind of lives. It's for the moms who are home with the babies or homeschooling their kids. It's for those people who are working night shifts or part-time hours. It's for entrepreneurs and creatives and neurotypical people who just feel left out of traditional time management advice. We focus a lot on how to use cyclical energy, seasonal cycles. We talk about productivity. We talk about self-care. We talk about rest. It all comes together in what I like to say is time magic. And if you tune into these episodes week after week, you're going to get a half an hour punch of tools, tips, and strategy advice for you to go and implement right away in your day to make your life feel a little bit more like you and a little bit less stressful.
Welcome. I am recording a short one today, as the wonderful Jamie Glowacki refers to them as bite-sized nuggets. I'm just going to steal that for a second. If you don't know Jamie, go check out the Oh Crap Parenting podcast. Anyway, she's fantastic. Also has been a guest on my show. And actually, I will link that episode here because she talked about burnout and leading into the holiday season and what we can do as moms to eliminate some of the stress, which is such a great episode. And I usually re-air it around this time, so I'm just going to link it. That is not what we're talking about today, though. Today, I wanted to cover what I call the 4 Ps of time management. And I wanted to just quickly dive in and identify that there are 4 different components that all start with P that I think are really integral when we're looking at how to manage our time, why we manage our time, what it's all about, just sort of going over those as a basic framework. So if time management is something that interests you and getting a better handle on your time, this episode is going to be short, sweet, and useful. The first P of time management is planning. Planning is essential when we are looking at managing anything. You can't manage anything that you don't know what is coming up. If you don't know how you're going to get through the thing, whether it be a project, a workload, a season, you need to plan for it, or else you're going to get swept away with the current of whatever the thing is, and you will be living and moving through without intention. You need to plan if you want to get things done. If you want to show up in a certain way, you need to plan if you want to get everything accomplished and do it without feeling stressed. There might still be a little bit of stress, but if you plan, you have more control. You get everything done. But with a plan, you also need to build in some space for flow, those banks to the river. Planning is something I cannot overstate. It's super important. Bottom line, if you are not planning for your time is going to take over and it will run you. So you need to run your time. If you're not sure how to plan, please pick up a copy of the Time Magic Planner or go back and listen to the episode where I outline how to do weekly planning. That is a wonderful place to start. But make sure you're planning your time and your calendar such that it allows you to understand what's going on, what needs to be done, and when you're going to actually do all the things. Okay. The second P is prioritizing. When we're talking time management, we have to take prioritization into the equation because we can't plan unless we know what we're prioritizing. What goes first? What is the order? What is most important? Because if everything feels important, nothing ends up being important, nothing gets prioritized, nothing gets done. So figuring out ways to prioritize is a huge piece of time management. And there are several ways we can do this. Pretty sure I have a podcast episode that I've already done about this. If I don't, I will record one. It's been on my mind because prioritizing is one of the things that people ask me about the most. They're like, that's great, but I've got so much shit to do. How do I know where to start? I feel paralyzed. I don't know what to start. I pick at all of these little projects a little bit of a time without focusing on anything specific, and nothing actually moves forward. We need to prioritize, and we can prioritize using a method like Eat Your Frog, choosing 3 of the the three things you want to accomplish this week or this day. We can prioritize using our values. What are the things that align with our top values? Prioritize those first. We can prioritize using the Eisenhower Matrix and plot things into one of four quadrants based on whether they are urgent or important. We can prioritize in so many different ways, but the bottom line is we have to make choices about what we're doing first, what is most important, so that we can actually complete something and move down the list. So planning and prioritizing are two P's of time management. The third P of time management is personalization. We have to look at and get familiar with and close with and understand our own selves if we want to be successful in managing our time, because the way that someone else is managing their time isn't going to fit for you. It's not going to be the thing that works unless it is considering your own circumstances, season, strengths, weaknesses, level of support, challenges, priorities, personality, energetics. There's so many things that go into figuring out what is going to be the way for you to manage your time that feels flowy and aligned. And so we need to get clear on a lot of different pieces. It's a lot of self-discovery work actually that comes in to great time management. You need to be self-aware, you need to be reflective, and you need to align what is actually going on and who you actually are and what you're actually dealing with the tools you use. So a great place to start with that is the quiz. You can check it out. I'm going to give you 3 tips based on your time management style. That is a good place to start personalizing it. But I also want to encourage you, do your own research. Continue to learn and listen and pick up things that maybe they'll work now, but if they don't work now, it might not be for you, or it might not be for you in this season. Create a toolbox with many different options that you can pick and choose so that when things shift or when a tool stops working for you, you have something else that you can try that might be better suited for you at that time. Okay, so not every tool is going to work in every season or for every person. This is especially true if you have a neurodiverse brain. Lots of resources on that. Reach out if you need some support with neurodiverse time management. But at the end of the day, if you're not taking your own self into consideration and you're just Googling time management tips and trying to force those and that framework onto your real life, it's not going to work out. You need to personalize it. And the last P of time management is productivity. Productivity is the one that we hear most about, or I think most freely associate with time management. Productivity, efficiencies, getting things done, doing it faster, smarter, better, right? Productivity. But I think the piece that we all miss when we're thinking about productivity is how can we be productive? Yes, there are hacks, there are tactics, there are tools, there are frameworks, habits, all those things to make us more productive. But how do we sustain productivity? Can we sustain productivity? Are we meant to be productive all the time? And I really think the answer is no. If you look at your human design type, again, going back to the personalization of this, each of us has a different way that our energy flows naturally. And some of us are really good at having a consistent source of energy that we can produce and output more readily. Some of us, though, it comes in peaks. Some of us can go for like a sprint and then need to have a hard rest. Some of us, we are constantly just like skimming the surface and need so much more input and rest to be able to be productive, right? And so understanding where your energy falls, what natural rhythms are coming through you and starting to honor those, bringing some rest in to use rest as a productivity tool. I actually just did a post today about this on my Instagram. Using rest as a productivity tool is my biggest hack because I'm able to replenish, recharge, and show up more enthusiastically. My brain is working faster. I'm in a better mood. I'm more creative and inspired because I gave myself rest so that when I show up, I can be more productive. I can get things done faster and more efficiently and in a more aligned way than if I was running on empty and didn't take the opportunity to recharge. So, I mean, rest and self-care are different things. As I talked about, I had this sort of epiphany at the Momentum conference this weekend as I was speaking about burnout and balance. And And I sort of gave the definition of what rest is versus what self-care is and how they're different. But the thing that came up, which surprised me and I really love, is if you think about this analogy people have of like having a full cup, right? We've all heard that one. You can't pour from an empty cup. You want to fill up your cup, blah, blah, blah. That's cool, but there's two pieces to that, right? First, the bottom half of the cup to get you to your like normal operating levels, right? We all have at a certain base operating level, benchmark, if you will, of where we feel like we're moving through with a pretty decent amount of energy and success, where things are flowing, they don't feel as hard. Like there's some tension, of course, but like our baseline, what does that look like? Where is that on your cup? Let's pretend it's right in the middle. From the bottom of the cup to your baseline, if you're watching me on YouTube, you can kind of like see my hands. From the bottom of your cup to baseline, to fill up to just that point of feeling like, okay, I'm okay here. That is rest. Rest is, and there are 7 different types of rest. You need to check out, if you don't already know, Sandra Dalton Smith. Again, I've done a podcast about this. This whole Energy in Hours, formerly Grow Like a Mother podcast, is a treasure trove of these nuggets of pieces of resources of information that all link together. This is a beautiful thing. I try to break them into smaller pieces so that it's digestible, and you're not overwhelmed with all of the tools and information, but they all fit together, right? Okay, so we're imagining this cup. The first half of the cup, if you fill it, it is rest. You are filling it with rest, things that will um, sustain you, bring your energy back to you so that you can operate from baseline. If you are under baseline, the thing you need is rest. Okay? From baseline up to the top of the cup, like top of the cup being you are running, all systems go, everything is flowing, you're feeling amazing, you've got all the energy, all the tasks are getting done, you're super productive. That state of being at that full cup, right? That between baseline and that's where you bring in self-care, right? Because the self-care is the intentional things you do to nourish and give you even more juice, right? So to get to baseline, you need to rest. To get to optimal, you need self-care, and they're different. I will do a podcast on this. I'm not going to get into it today, but I'll make myself a note. I will do a podcast about the difference between self-care and rest. Self-care, I think needs maybe its own podcast as well, because there's 2 different ways I recommend bringing it in, depending on your schedule and your opportunity to take time for yourself. We're all in different seasons. This look different for everyone, but you can either time confetti it or use your intuition. Those are the 2 ways that I like to share. So go back and check out the episode I did on the 7 types of rest. That will give you a good baseline in terms of how to get up to your like your benchmark baseline, I'm good level of having a decently full cup, not full, not empty. And then I'll do an episode about self-care and how to really top yourself up and get to optimal levels. But that's how I feel about productivity. I think it's something that we put on a pedestal, but we don't see the whole picture. We're not looking at productivity holistically and sustainably. And when you push, 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 and go, 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 without a plan to sustain the productivity or replenish, recharge, top yourself up, however you like to look at that, you're going to burn out. That's just how it goes. Burnout is the unequal exchange of energy out and energy in. And if you are not giving energy in to support and sustain you, you will burn out. If you're constantly outputting, it's science. That's how it works. We all know this. So yeah, so self-care and rest are a big part of productivity. Actually, productivity, self-care, and rest are the 3 pillars of the time magic framework. It all comes together. I love recording a little podcast like this for you guys. Hopefully you're inspired and you go check out some of the other episodes. Take the quiz, right? Get the planner, get into understanding that there's these 4 P's when it comes to time management. We've got the planning, we've got the prioritizing, we've got the personalizing, and we have how we view productivity. If you have any questions, please reach out. I love to talk about this if you can't tell. I'm on Instagram, I'm on the website, I'm on Facebook. You can email me. If you're not on the email list, go over and get on the email list, because I sort of just spew about these things all the time. on the email list. And I think I'll write one for Friday about the difference between self-care and rest. So if you're interested in learning more about that, get on the email list. Thank you for being here and listening to me all these weeks. If you're new here, thanks for being here. And I hope that you will come back and listen. And if you've been along with the journey with me for the past 4 years or any portion of that, thank you for your support. And I'm so glad to know that it's meaningful and helpful in your life. So that is all for today. Please share the episode. Please post. Please tell me what resonated and leave a review ranking all the things that podcasters ask you to do, or not just sort of like party lining it. It really is important. And that's how you can show your support for free podcasts and independently produced podcasts, such as this one. Okay, go forth, my friends, and grow like a mother.